Well, guys, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. I know you've waited a long time for this. Wow, can't tell you how great it is to be back for another Q&A video, as I must say. For those of you who have participated in the first one, I really appreciate it. Yep, you've seen me to the first, and now you're seeing me to the next. Recently, I made a lot of cast videos and music videos, especially my Valentine's music videos for this year, even my SMVs from last year. And not to mention cast videos for spoofs like my All Dogs Go to Heaven spoof and my Star Wars spoof. Still, after a while, it's great to be back! So before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself and my Toon friends. Hey everybody, this is Alec here.
And this is Isabella Garcia Shapiro here.
Well, we're not the only ones participating in this Q&A.
That's right, Alec. And joining us today is my good friend and the boy I have a huge crush on. Here he is, Phineas Flynn!
I'm not so sure about the crush thing, but I totally get the friend thing.
Excuse me?
Seriously, you don't know about the crush thing and the friend thing.
Dude, come on. You're supposed to know about the crush thing. I mean, we kissed in the last Valentine's Day music video, you know.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous, Phineas. Admit it, she's had a crush on you since 2007.
See? This is the reason why people have been shipping us over the years, and you've been forgetting? They seem to be aware. Besides, what could be more important than our relationship? You just act like you've never changed since the VMVs.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just kidding.
Okay, that's definitely what I thought you were gonna say.
You know what, Isabella? I'll never wipe that kiss off my cheek again. And by the way, I'm fine with boyfriend. Better. Oh, and thanks for the introduction.
All I can say is, I'm glad you're here with me, Phineas.
Yeah, same here, Isabella. Anyways, everyone, you have no idea how honored I am to be here. In fact, I've always wanted to join you guys on a Q&A. As a newbie, I'd like to tell you, just say the word and I'll be ready to answer your questions. Well, join the club, my friend, because today I have hit... Drum roll, please. SpongeBob, Patrick, if you will. Hit it, boys! Oh, and that goes for you too, girls. People, roll it! $6,000 subscribers. Good reception, fellas. Well, I guess Patrick, Pinkie, the Fireside Girls, and I only appeared at that moment. So, Patrick and I will participate in the next Q&A, and we're gonna head out. Come on, guys.
Oh well, see you later, Isabella and Phineas.
Okay then.
Well, thanks for joining on the drum roll, guys. And especially you girls. Alec, do the honors, please.
Oh, right. So, now that I've hit over 6,000 subscribers, it is now time for a second Q&A. And this time, we got Phineas here today. Hi, guys. Of course, I was going to do this by the time summer came along, but I didn't get around to doing it. So instead, I just thought I'd do it by getting 6,000 subscribers. You know, it's been a while since I've made one of these over the years anyway, and I'm looking forward to doing another one.
Congratulations, Alec.
Congratulate yourself, kid. Without the support you and my subscribers have given me over the years, it never would have been possible. We got so many questions here. And most of them are not even on the post of the second Q&A, but that's okay.
Good thing we got a lot of them, and there'll be some questions you can ask me and some questions you can ask Phineas, or even the two of us together.
Well then, let's go! Yeah! Alright, now we're gonna start off with not one, but two questions, starting with, What's your opinion on Norm from Phineas and Ferb? And what's your opinion on Drill Sergeant from Phineas and Ferb? Well, all I can say about Norm is he's a pretty cool and funny robot. Especially when working with Doofenshmirtz and his crazy schemes. And John Viner does a pretty good job voicing him. He's the reason why I've heard of that actor in the first place. Of course, he's another one of those incompetent henchmen done right. Especially with the way he forgets how hide-and-seek works. A well-written example of an idiot sidekick. But for the Drill Sergeant, he is basically one of the worst characters in Phineas and Ferb next to Susie and Doofenshmirtz's parents. He is a cruel drill sergeant who treats children like they're slaves. Literally treats them like slaves. He is one of the reasons why I hate this episode. He is just one of the absolute worst. One of the most atrocious examples of a Phineas and Ferb character in history. To the point where I didn't even know where to put him in the ranking list that would describe my thoughts on him perfectly. This jerk belongs in horrible tier. Congratulations, Drill Sergeant! And the Smile Away Reform School, I wouldn't even have it as a place to go to. What's even worse is that the Drill Sergeant claimed the place to be cute and fun, but plot twist, it's actually a prison that could torture kids. And especially Phineas and Ferb. Through his plans of controlling children at his school, his intentions of getting rid of children's imaginations feels rather dark for a light-hearted animated series. I'm not kidding. You enter a school, and then he performs his torture methods on you. That's what this character amounts to in a nutshell. With all his cruel actions, how is he ever deemed acceptable to put in the Phineas and Ferb episode? That is just ludicrous! This is exactly why he deserves to be in a tie with Susie and Doofenshmirtz's parents as the worst Phineas and Ferb character ever! At least unlike him, Mitch doesn't enslave literal children, even though he's pretty much atrocious. Drill Sergeant, on the other hand, is an infamous offender for an irredeemable character. This guy literally tortures any kid who just wants to have fun. Not to mention he used a fire hose to spray them with water, which is clearly child abuse. He even says that creativity is dangerous, but that is not true. It doesn't even help that he was voiced by the same voice actor as Mr. Krabs. You know what? I hope he gets arrested and put in jail. Oh gosh, I hate that Drill Sergeant. That's it. Next question. Hey Isabella, is Stella your favorite character from Todd World?
Well, let me tell you. To be honest, even though I like Thomas and Friends, I can't say I've actually watched Todd World, even though I've heard of it. Perhaps we overlooked it all of a sudden. So, I don't really know how to answer that. I might have to watch more of Todd World if I really want to see who my favorite character is. So, sorry to say this, but I don't actually have a favorite character on Todd World. Not yet. Even though I've watched most Hand Entertainment shows. I mean, it is a cute show, and it is pretty great for kids. It does have an interesting art style. I mean, it looks cool and cute, but it's also kind of strange. So this kind of sounds like an interesting yet complicated question to ask. And, mostly an odd question to answer. Actually, maybe, just maybe, I would sure like to watch Todd World. Because even if I did, Stella would be my favorite character from that show. So for those of you who are interested in Thomas and Friends, please check out Todd World. Sure, it can be weird sometimes, but it's normally a cute show. So if you ever get the chance, it's on YouTube for free, so you can watch all the episodes. Highly recommend it, but that'll be for another day. So let's move on to the next question.
To Isabella, can you react to the 2006 Lionsgate logo?
Wait a minute. You don't mean that logo? What the heck? Oh my gosh! No. Not the gears! Oh no! What's that noise? No. Please don't tell me! No! Wait, no. Oh, no.
Isabella, you look like Helga from Hey Arnold.
Wait, what? I mean, that's kind of true. She does have a crush on Arnold, and I have a crush on Phineas. And furthermore, we both wear similar outfits. The only difference is, I have black hair and she has yellow hair. Whether you're as genuinely shocked as I am, please leave it in the comments below. Next question, before I go any further.
Alright, so Allison the Artist Studios asks, what is your opinion on Allison Cindy, me, ex-Walter Beckett from Spies in Disguise? I'm glad you asked, pal. It's one of the most adorable couples I'll ever come across. Probably even as cute as Finbella and David and Moana. And even Skylar in the Equestria Girls version of Starlight. Also Lightning and Sally. And don't forget Mike and Celia. Oh, and Sonic and Rainbow Dash. And of course, Ember and Wade. Also, I want to point out that it's one of the best shippings I have ever known. Even for a YouTuber. And hands down, Walter is the best character from Spies in Disguise next to Lance. Still, your couple is cute as heck, Allison. So whenever I get to use you and Walter for a future video, I'll sure be glad to. Next question. Another question from Elijah, who asks, I got a question for you, Isabella. I created Fred Flintstone meeting Isabella collab with Alec the Video Maker. Would you use it? Just asking.
Sure I would, Elijah. I'll even be glad to credit you. Next question.
I have a question for Phineas and Isabella. Do you two have any plans on getting married?
Well, like I said in the Wouldn't It Be Nice music video, sometime in the future would be nice. Probably at least sometime after college.
Oh yeah, totally.
Not that early, but someday. So, yeah, maybe we will be marrying in the future.
Yes we will.
So, there you have it. Next.
Question.
Today is my birthday today, and here's my question to Alec. If you went to the Pixar studio,
What movie would you make? To Isabella, what's the most funniest SpongeBob episode you have seen?
and to Phineas, what's your least favorite invention you have made?
Well, perhaps even if I did work at Pixar. I'm not so sure which Pixar movie I'll work on first. I'm not so sure what the plot will be, or even the concept yet. But when I do make one, I want it to turn out good. First, I'm gonna need some inspiration. Every future Pixar artist needs inspiration. We live in a whole world of possibilities. Oh, I got it. Maybe a girl's drawing's coming to life.
Or at least maybe anything else will do. I bet you know Pixar.
It's got enough creative concepts under its belt to stand out. Now, Isabella, if you could think of any SpongeBob episode that made you laugh, what would it be?
I choose To Get to Treat 'Em. That would be my pick on the funniest SpongeBob episode. The gags are really clever, and it really introduced Sandy really well. And Patrick sure knows how to pull off a lot of funny moments in this episode like he usually does. This is why I love To Get to Treat 'Em, because of Sandy's introduction and all of the gags featured in the episode.
Alright, and Phineas? Tell me about your worst invention you've made so far. Well, you know, Alec, that would have to be the gorilla in the cake. Back when it was Candace's 14th birthday. Other than that, I can't think of any other invention I would consider the worst I've ever made. It's a really tough decision. I guess that's a fair point. Okay, moving on.
To the next.
Question!
I have a question. What is your opinion on El Chupacabra x Rachel? Because they are my favorite couple, and I know you say the same reason about Finn Bella. That's actually a pretty good question.
And of course, you do have a point. They're both sweet and beautiful together. Just like another Cars couple I know. What a cute ship they are. Next question. What is your favorite Thomas and Friends film? Thomas and the Magic Railroad. That's my favorite Thomas and Friends film. Of all movies based on popular TV shows, this one deserved a lot more attention than it could ever have. Next question. Hey Isabella, do you agree that Sonic 06 is the worst Sonic game to ever exist?
Well, begin to explain why. I can think of good reasons to never put my hands on that sorry excuse for a reboot game. It would have led that to its potential, but it all got ruined thanks to those terrible controls, glitches and bugs that take forever, even the obnoxious camera. And the least just had to kiss Sonic? Really? Amy was supposed to do that in the game. I mean, as much as I like Amy, I kind of prefer Rainbow Dash. Still, that reboot was a bad name in video game history. So yes, Sonic 06 is definitely the worst Sonic game to ever exist. Darn it, Sega! You were this close to redeeming the Sonic franchise after that terrible Shadow game! But you blew it by rushing it for Christmas at the time! Until the Sonic movie and Sonic Frontiers came along. You ruined the Sonic franchise, Sega! And you even rushed it just because of the PS3 launch! I gotta calm myself down. Ugly Sonic was already bad enough. Next question, while I pull myself together.
Caesar asks, question for all of you. Opinion on the Loud House? Well, I guess depending on the seasons, that show wasn't bad. And the slapstick and jokes are so good. Hey, it's your average Nicktoon. Of course it's gonna be funny. And the animation looks pretty unique, especially with its comic book style. And it actually makes pretty good use of its slice of life formula. So what can I say? Not every modern Nicktoon can be that bad.
I totally ship Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. And I just really like the whole Loud family. And Sam is pretty good too. One of the best Nick shows next to SpongeBob, Rugrats, Fairly Odd Parents, Penguins of Madagascar, Jimmy Neutron, even Avatar The Last Airbender.
The comic book style makes the animation look more unique. And the show has a lot of great episodes to watch. Well, except for some examples like Brawl in the Family and No Such Luck.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bring up the rest of the bad episodes.
Yeah, me neither. Still, The Loud House is one of Nickelodeon's best shows in recent years.
Agreed.
Now, time for the next question.
Why, certainly.
Of course.
So, Anthony wants to know, what is the stupidest character in your opinion? And another one, what is a villain who is absolutely right? I can think of a few stupid characters in my opinion. To name a few examples, not only do I hate that little creep Susie for being a control freak over Jeremy, but I also despise other characters including Thunder the Phony Champion, an arrogant cheater who never deserved to win, the agent from Bolt because he's basically Mr. Krabs but without the charm, and he cares more about money than Penny's well-being, Puffy Fluffy because he's nothing but a vicious savage beast who enjoys devouring any kind of animal and torturing Gary to death, and turns from quote-unquote cute to a monster when no one's around, Penelope because she's nothing but an annoying jerk to Junior, and especially Syndrome because the fact that he caused a lot of superhero genocide out of spite just makes you lose sympathy for him. I would take any of my favorite characters over these absolutely stupid jerks. I hate these characters more than words could easily describe. So yeah, those are the worst characters in my opinion. Now, I'm going to discuss every villain I can think of who was absolutely right all along. For one, even though I find Stinky Pete a really dreadful character from Toy Story 2, at least he made some good points. When he said the toys would end up in a landfill, that actually did come true, except they did not spend an eternity there. And the kids at the Caterpillar room, they actually did damage many of the toys. They chewed, they kicked, they drooled on them. And he did tell Woody that Andy was growing up and that soon Woody would be donated just like Jesse before him. It turns out all of Andy's toys got donated by the end of Toy Story 3. And Andy did grow up by then. And in that one blooper banned from every future release of Toy Story 2 starting in 2019. He even told the Barbies about getting a part in Toy Story 3. In fact, one of them actually did make it into the third one. Oh my gosh, wait a minute! So he predicted almost everything that turned out correct in Toy Story 3? How could I not know that? And now, let's talk about Titan. Even though he was a villain who threw away his destiny of becoming a superhero and caused destruction for his own amusement, while he was taking advantage of Roxanne's ability to see the good in everyone.
He said there was no such thing as the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Queen of England.
Gosh, as much as I believe in all of them, that last one sadly turned out the most accurate for me. Next question.
What's your opinion on the Ghost of Molly McGee?
So far, I really like this show.
A lot! It's one of Disney's best shows next to Phineas and Ferb and Gravity Falls.
Especially with its concept of a girl befriending a ghost, its animation style, the voice acting, and the likable cast of characters. Molly is a really cute and cheerful protagonist, and Scratch is a pretty good character too. And he reminds me of Squidward for some reason. So to sum this up, The Ghost of Molly McGee is one of Disney's best shows ever made. And I am going to check out season 2 whenever I plan to.
Oh, and final question.
Nora asks, here's one, what's your favorite dog breed?
For your information, it used to be a blue heeler, but now it's border collie.
And as much as I like blue heelers, sometimes they bite you if you're not careful. Good thing border collies don't bite as much, so I like them better. Well, that is about it for this Q&A. So be sure to put any question you find interesting in the comments, and even my community tab.
And we will answer it in the next Q&A. And we'll be doing more rants on bad movies, more tribute videos, more DVD, VHS, and blurry openings with Isabella episodes, more music videos, and more Isabella and Friends Watch a THX solo episodes.
And post in the comment about any obvious question that I find really good. What is your opinion on Star Wars? And my answer is, it's one of the best science fiction movies of all time, and one of the best movies in general.
That's a great suggestion, Phineas.
I know, right? Thanks, guys. So until then, this has been Alec.
This has been Isabella.
And this has been Phineas. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as always. And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
Goodbye!